Hey guys, in the content Reveries in the Rain, we have a new window called Bounties of Myth. You want to clear out all of these quests, and in order for you to do that, you have to go to the Isle of Echoes, and every single myth manifest here has stages that are called manifest analysis. We're gonna break down and go over every single one of these manifest analysis stages for every single myth manifest in the game, starting off by looking at the manifest analysis for the Operetic Reflection. This stage is rather simple because, as you can see, you will have 3 enemies here, the boss in the middle plus his 2 ads on the sidelines. You can see that these ads, they are in the petrify status, and you want to make sure that you keep them petrified for as long as possible. In order for you to do that, you simply do never attack them. You never use any mass attacks here. You use one target attack only on the boss in the middle, and that way you keep these 2 ads petrified for the entirety of the battle. So characters here are recommended that are first of all from the Beast Afflatus, because our opponents are all from the Plant Afflatus, so we would hit them with an Afflatus advantage. Characters that are highly recommended here, or the one character specifically that is very highly recommended here, would be Anionala, because she excels at one target attacks and she is from the Beast Afflatus. No one else does as much damage here as Anionala would. Additionally though, you can use the follow-up attack skill tree for the Operatic Reflection, and you are also able to rent yourself, so to speak, characters that unlocked their Euphoria update in version 2.7 right now. That includes, as you can see, Jiu. She also excels at one target attacks, deals a whole bunch of damage, and is very efficient here. You can pair Jiu with characters like Fatutu, for example, because also Fatutu excels as well at one target attacks, and they have a very great synergy together. So Jiu Fatutu with the Operatic Reflection and her follow-up attack skill tree, including Anionala if you have her, and then only focus the boss, never use mass attacks, and this battle will prove to be a walk in the park. Now, if you would happen to be as bad as me and actually attack one of the ads to free them from the petrify, then you can see here this golden stick, let me call him like that. He will deal quite a huge amount of damage actually, and that is because he attacks 4 times per turn. And if you would disarm him now though, you would keep him in check, and you would make it so that he does not attack. So a disarm ability that, for example, a character like Sonetto has would also not be too shabby, but keep in mind that is not needed. All you need is one target attacks with Jiu, Fatutu, the follow-up attack tree for the Operatic Reflection, and if you have her, Anionala, and then you're gonna be golden here. That's it about this battle number 1. We can now move on to the next myth manifest. Next up, we have 2 stages for the Mountain Ghost. The first battle is against Getian, and here there are a few things to break down actually. First of all, don't bring characters from the Mineral Afflatus. Getian deals quite a tremendous amount of damage, and he obliterates characters from the Mineral Afflatus. You should bring characters from the Plant Afflatus to have the Afflatus advantage here and deal a little bit more damage. But that is actually not the key. The keys here are that you never ever use an incantation that deals damage that is only rank 1. Because whenever you would do that, you would grant a Moxie to Getian, and that's absolutely something you don't want. So keep in mind, every time you use an incantation that deals damage, it has to be rank 2 or rank 3. Additionally, the huge part here, the key to victory is that Getian never ever becomes immune to CC in general, specifically Petrify. So you use the Mountain Ghost here with the Petrify skill tree to make it so that whenever you attack with the Mountain Ghost, your opponent gets petrified. You will use the character Druvis here to add additional petrifies. Whenever Druvis his incantation number 2, I think it is rank 2, she will petrify. Additionally, her ultimate also petrifies the target. And then An Li here, and she is a huge MVP because she makes it so that your entire team inflicts rigidity, and if you stack rigidity, you petrify the target, so that helps. Additionally, An Li ranks up your allies' incantations. And remember, you never want to use incantations of rank number 1. And if you have a character like An Li that ranks up your incantations, that is like very, very, very beneficial. And An Li also has her incantation number 2 that you see right here. And if you rank that up to rank 3, it inflicts daze, it stuns your opponent, and that leaves them unable to act as well. So, and that's like the key to victory here. You want to constantly, every single turn, petrify him with the Mountain Ghost, petrify him with Druvis, petrify him with An Li, stun him with An Li. And you want to cycle this CC every single turn, as your opponent never becomes immune to that. And that's the big key to victory here. Of course, I will have to use the character Lucy here, because I don't have a planned Afflatus DPS character at my disposal. So if you have characters like Noir or Marcus, they come in absolutely clutch and they obliterate this Gatian fight even faster than my P5 Lucy would ever do. And yeah, that's the key to victory. Cycle the petrify, use the stun, never use rank 1 incantations. Those are the keys to victory here, and now we can move on to the next battle. Then we have the Mountain Ghosts battle number 2, where you fight against Appa from the last Airbender. And yeah, the mechanics, all you have to do here is very, very similar to battle number 1. So first of all, whenever you would attack him, he would increase his max HP, and he also has the ability to heal himself. So if you don't play this battle correctly, he will literally become unkillable. What you have to do is you can apply poison and burn, because they don't trigger the effect of him increasing his max HP. The key to victory here is, as well as in the first battle, to constantly cycle CC, especially petrify. You use the Mountain Ghost again with his petrify skill tree to petrify your opponent. You will use An Li to inflict poison and burn and rigidity to petrify him as well. Druvis here, huge MVP, constant petrify. You just saw the incantation number 2 from An Li, that is when it's ranked up to rank 3, will stun him, and that's what you do. You constantly cycle petrifies and stuns onto your opponent. You inflict as much poison and burn as you possibly can, and then you will prevent him from actually increasing his max HP, because he doesn't do that whenever he's petrified, and you will never let him heal himself either. And then it's just a matter of time, right? If you cycle the petrify and the stuns correctly, it's really just a stalling battle, so to speak. It takes a few turns to actually bring him down, because again, I don't have Noir or Marcus, so it will take me a little bit more turns compared to you if you have Noir or Marcus. But then really the enemy here, he doesn't ever fight back in any way, because he's constantly stunned and petrified. And that's the battle for you. Let's move on to the next myth manifest. That would be the Ashen Beast, but here, like, really we don't even need to look at in-game footage, because this battle is by far the easiest one of them all, and it's an absolute walk in the park. These enemies, they literally don't do anything, but they are from the Beast Afflatus. So if you can bring, which you should be able to, bring characters from the Mineral Afflatus that deal a whole bunch of damage, then this battle will be obliterated in just a few turns, without the enemy ever being able to fight back. I conquered this with this team back in the day here with Semmelweis Eternity, Mrs. Bubble and Fatutu. You can bring Recoleta Melania to obliterate it. You can remember, you can just choose GU here, and if you would now happen to have Pickles, they to obliterate this, put in Fatutu, bring a follow-up attack or whatever you like. Like, really the key is bring a main DPS character here from the Mineral Afflatus, such as like Semmelweis, GU or Recoleta, and this battle will prove to be no issue whatsoever. It's the easiest fight of your life. So yeah, let's move on to the next myth manifest. Then we have the battle for the PrimitiveUrge, and yeah, it's kind of the same story here as well, because look, you have two enemies, and yeah, they do stuff that you don't really have to worry about because there's nothing you can do against what they do. But here you can see you have one opponent, let me call her lady in the back. She's from the Beast Deflators, and yeah, again, you can obliterate her with PrimitiveUrge that everyone has access to because you can rent her at the moment, and she absolutely obliterates this battle. If you have Pickles, bring him in. If you have Flutterpage, Fatutu, right? You get it. Use the follow-up attack team around PrimitiveUrge. But then again, you can also bring like Recollector or Semmelweis or any DPS for that matter that is from the Mineral Deflators to obliterate the enemy Beast Deflators like it's absolutely nothing. And then, yeah, keep in mind, before you use the PrimitiveUrge actively, make sure that you have your ultimates ready, because your ultimates would deal more damage, as the PrimitiveUrge opens an array that makes ultimates deal 30% more damage, and that's really about it, right? Bring again Mineral Deflators, DPS characters, obliterate the enemy Beast Deflators, and you're gonna be fine. Last but not least, we have the battle from the Star of Misfortune. Here you will face PrimitiveUrge. She is from the Mineral Deflators, so if you bring characters from the Star Deflators, you can absolutely obliterate her. The best way to tackle this battle and obliterate GU in a matter of like 2 or 3 turns would be the Impromptu team. If you do not play Impromptu, then let me recommend this one more time. You rent GU, you put in GU's synergy team here with Pickles, Fatutu and Flutterpage, and those will also absolutely obliterate everything in their path, no issue. You will see, the only thing that you have to like maybe keep an eye on here is, you see GU has a buff, and now every time I attack her, this buff gets reduced. And you want to make sure that every single turn you attack her 5 times to completely get rid of this buff every single turn, you know. And then again, like a follow-up team here is golden. Teams that attack your opponents a lot. You can also use characters like Liang Yuer or 37 here, right? It works. The best case is again Impromptu, and you want to attack so that you get rid of this buff. You see 2 stacks, you attack again 1 stack. She has 5 stacks of this buff every single turn, and if you manage to get rid of all of those 5 stacks, that would be golden. A follow-up team is the best team you can use here, aside from the Impromptu lineup. And that's about it, guys. Those were all the battles for all the myth manifests, and this is everything you have to do and know to complete all the quests when it comes to the bounties of myth. I hope that video was fun and informative. If you like Reverse1999 content in general, please consider leaving a follow on my channel. I would really appreciate it. But until next time, take care of yourselves, have a great day, join the Discord server, and we love this game.